Okay, this is my famous seagull that's famous for saying mine, mine, mine. Or it could be Jonathan Livingston's seagull, who was a much more intelligent version of a seagull. Okay, my hat is 88, and depending on how you interpret an 88, it could be a very long artillery piece from World War II, an 88, or it could be, if you turn the eights sideways, it's infinity, so double infinity. I just saw a chipmunk. Okay, I was going to say something else. This particular shirt is all about going to the beach and surfing. And I have not surfed in the ocean, and it is something I would like to do. This one says you can go in Cali, surf Cali. So the point is that words seem to, you can have a very extreme polarization. The 88 gun, maybe you think it's a wonderful gun for defending yourself against somebody else who's got artillery pieces parked at you. Or, infinity. Now, if I was going to take my choice, well, I don't know, it's very difficult. It's difficult because it's situational, isn't it? If you're in World War II and you're getting hammered by the enemy, there's nothing that would make you more happy than if someone rolled an 88 close by and started shelling the enemy to get them to stop. And, if you're in the foxhole and you're being shelled by the enemy, thinking about infinity, I think most soldiers would say I'd rather have the 88 big gun defending me. So, but if you had 1 in a million that said I would rather have, instead of the 88, I would rather have the infinity, what would that mean? Well, you bring an 88 gun into battle and you're going to have more battle. Maybe somebody thinks it's the gun that's going to end all battles. World War I was going to be the war that ended all wars. It didn't, did it? So rolling in another gun, another weapon, might seem to make sense. But if you're calling on infinity, you're asking for something other than more battle. You're asking for, in the field of infinity, wanting something better than where I am now, being in a trench warfare situation of hell. Being in the hell, that's basically, people think, I'm going to die and go to hell if I'm bad or something, but, people who have lived through these wartime experiences, they've lived on hell, and it's right here, apparently, on hologram Earth. So if you're calling on the infinity for help, because where you are in your situation is an endless war zone, you're asking for something other than what you've got, and more war to end all wars. Maybe you can learn from history that it doesn't seem to work. So in the field of infinity, you're looking for perhaps an island in the sun with a lovely sand beach and some nice waves, not too big, maybe 3-foot waves, where you can learn to surf. And that's what I'm looking for. If you're Jonathan Livingston's Seagull, well, that would be nice for you too. A nice place to go for a nice flight over land and sea. How do you call on infinite infinity? Hello, infinite infinity! Here I am, and I'm looking to get out of my current situation, and I'm looking for something else. In the TV show MASH, the 1970s series, when the people of the unit were sick of eating cream corn, Hawkeye Pierce, always the ringleader of Cuckoo, got some pots and pans and started clashing them together, and he started doing a great dance, and he would go, jump up on the mess tent tables and starts bashing his pots and pans together, and he was singing, "We want something else, we want something else, we want something else." So, I mean, you could try the pots and pans thing. I always think that's very cute. Attracts attention and makes everyone think that you're loony. But if you're in a loony situation, maybe that's all you need to do. Wayne Dyer said you have to get into the gap. I've talked about that previously. Getting into the gap is getting into the gap between words. Well, I'm between words, and then I hear the children in the background. They're still yipping, so. But that is basically, some people say, well, what's the best kind of meditation to change things? I like going into quiet the best. Some people say, well, visualize something else. I don't actively visualize things. Maybe some people will say, well, it's because you haven't sufficient consciousness to develop the faculty of imagining something in. Image in. Sometimes I do see things, but it doesn't seem to be under my conscious control. It comes or it doesn't come. So who's in charge? The gap. Perhaps the gap is in charge. So I don't say I make an imagination of something better. If something better comes, sometimes it does. It flashes in my head. I wouldn't say that I'm in charge of it, though. What am I in charge of? My intent is to quiet my mind and get between the thoughts. Does it happen? Yes. However, there are other personalities that don't always follow my lead. In other words, I hear other of my cosmic characters. One was just going drip, drip, drip like a tap. So, not everyone is going to come and follow your lead as you're banging pots and pans up and down the mess tent saying, I want something else. Does it mean that your intention to be quiet is ignored? Yes. Do they know that you want to be quiet? Not always, but at least sometimes. I will meet you on the beach in the island in the sun, and I see palm trees. It's beautiful. See you on the beach. I'm Harry Weaver.